dog. How dare
Glizzies?
you? Carrots as hot dogs.
Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, Eric, and Josh, and we are back from a 2-week hiatus to get you ready for the NFL season. For real this time. We're getting down into divisional breakdowns. Holy guacamole, it's time to dive deep and get you all ready. We ain't giving you no carrots disguised as hot dogs. This ain't no buffalo cauliflower. This is the real deal. The meat and potatoes.
Don't mess with my hot dogs. Don't ever mess with my hot dogs.
Glizzies.
I was upset by that.
You're welcome.
Me.
All right, boys. How we doing? It is Friday night. We've had 2 weeks off. We're well rested, well versed, ready to jump back into it.
Just dive in.
I mean, we're well rested and we're back. I don't know about well versed, but
did I say well versed?
I think you did.
I realize at work I say a lot of things without realizing I say it.
I dropped a Tupac line at work this past week and people were shocked.
No, I just start saying stuff and don't know what I'm saying. Like I forget, and they're like, "You know, you said this." I'm like, "Not a clue."
No, I was talking. I'm not paying attention to what's actually coming out of my mouth. How dare you?
The mouse moves, the brain shut off. But it's the North. We're doing AFC and NFC North today. There's some news. There's some fantasy implications. There's some. I think I need to turn my fan off. But am I coming in all weird?
No.
No more weird than you already are.
Your resolution went down a little bit. I think your connection was
my internet's
wavering.
Trash.
Oh, I got that fiber now. Oh my gosh, it's so quick. I love it. Anyway.
The only fiber I got's in my diet, boys. Keep me regular.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news. Thanks, bud, for the update.
You've been eating the carrot hot dogs?
I'll have to check out that fiber when I move half a mile away from you, Eric.
Yeah, go for it.
Can't wait. 39 more days and I'll be there, bud.
There you go. Packing up, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get dysentery.
Don't care.
Or bitten by a snake. Be careful.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
You have forded the river. You have died of dysentery.
I got to get out of here anyway because we're losing all of our water over here in Lake Mead. It's at the lowest level since whenever they created the freaking Hoover Dam. So I got to get out of here before we run out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Ooh, don't want to run out of water.
That's not good.
No.
Brad froze, so there's that.
Is he frozen? I thought he was just holding incredibly still.
It looks like maybe he's gonna fart. I don't know, but anyway, I'll go ahead and get the sponsorship out of the way. Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Please check out our website at fsa-fr.com. This is the show with the most talent on it, not because I think so, but because that's what the people say. They don't, but maybe. Check it out every Friday night. This is where we're going to be. We did take the last 2 weeks off because we had personal issues and things like that going. We're trying to prepare for the divisionals, but now we're back. We're ready to go. Every Tuesday night, you have the Average Bros. Every Wednesday night, you have FSA on with the Fanatically Real broadcast. Check out our website and go sign up for one of these fantastic leagues. Most importantly, go sign up for Redraft. It's huge, blowing up, and it won't be long. We're only 7 weeks away from preseason football, which doesn't sound, it sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. 7 weeks. Preseason football will be starting, so please get ready. Get signed up for fsa-fr.com. We're getting people in there, boys. We're getting them in. So check it out. We love you. Brad, back to you now that you're not frozen anymore.
Oh, wait. No, I'll talk.
There you go. Go talk.
Yeah. And then our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. So we want to thank Football Darts for being our broadcast sponsor. Football Darts is a game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. And unlike traditional British darts, it's a game that combines the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, for league tournaments or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you want to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. And if you go there and enter the promo code IPLAYFSA, all caps, all one word, you'll get 30% off. Officially licensed collegiate dartboards. They're beautiful. And if you play FSA, if you play Redraft, Dynasty, the Arm and Leg League, brought to you by QB54, if you're in the Monkey Knife Fight League, if you're in the DOD League, you have a chance to possibly win yourself some free football darts. Be pretty dope.
I'm in. Let's go. Let's go. Woo.
I say that every day when I see the AMC stock prices. Let's go.
I didn't get in on that. Should have got in on that.
Too
late now. No, too late now. I guess I'll be poor forever. But that's okay. I'm willing to be poor forever. You guys ready to talk about We the North? We the North.
Is there any news to cover? Any at all? Like worth talking about fantasy-wise?
The news now is all just guessing and joking, and who knows what's really true and who knows what's false. So let's talk and start with the Bears.
Oh, the Bears. Yeah, this is
Bears.
The Bears. Matt Nagy coming in here, coming in hot.
I can't wait till he gets fired.
He came out. What's the news out of Matt? Eric, go ahead and you made sure to mess about this. What did he say?
Oh, Matt Nagy said that Andy Dalton's going to be the starter.
There is no scenario that Justin Fields starts week 1. Well, I know I can think of a couple.
Yeah, even though their receivers said the first deep ball he threw me in practice made me smile. But no, he's not going to start week 1.
There are a couple scenarios he can start week 1. The GM cuts Andy Dalton. I mean,
he is getting a pretty penny.
Bill Lazor overrides him.
Yeah. Matt Nagy gets fired.
No.
There's a few ways. It could happen. So, well, and then there's, the negative ways Andy Dalton gets hurt, but I don't want to put that on anybody. I like Andy Dalton. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I like the rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's a perfectly fine human being. But
so let's talk about the fantasy implications, dude. We have Andy Dalton. We have Justin Fields. Let's say you're in redraft right now and you're drafting. What are we doing here with these two guys?
I wouldn't. This year in redraft, I don't think I'd touch either of them personally. There would be other guys I'd be targeting, especially in one QB leagues.
Would you take a late flyer on Justin Fields to throw in like as a second quarterback in a 1 QB or maybe a third or fourth quarterback in a 2 QB league?
Sure. I don't have any issues with that. The problem is people are probably going to jump on him a lot sooner than they should in redraft, especially if, Dalton comes in there and he actually plays well. Maybe they decide, we'll wait till after the bye week. So fantasy wise, I don't know. You don't know what kind of production you're going to get out of them. So in a 1 QB league, you should be looking at guys that are tried and true, especially for redraft. Right.
So for one, Josh, what about this? Would you take either Denver quarterback or Justin Fields in a redraft league right now?
Fields. I'd take Fields. Because something tells me they're going to be stupid and try to start Drew Lock. Okay. They're going to try. They're going to try because he's going to look good in practice and in the offseason, and maybe he'll have a good little game in the preseason because he's got a little bit of Favre in him. That's what I keep hearing. He got a little bit of Favre in him. Yeah, good. Well, he's not Favre. And they should have started Teddy B. Neither one of them is good. But I would take Justin Fields.
No, the moniker of good. They are good.
Justin Fields is better. But the problem that I have with it is, so last year, as far as fantasy finishes in quarterbacks, 29, 30, and 31. 29 was Mitchell Trubisky. 30 was Andy Dalton. 31 was Dak Prescott. Now, the only reason that that's really relevant is because Andy Dalton played for the Dallas Cowboys and Mitchell Trubisky played for the Chicago Bears last year. The problem with the whole Andy Dalton-Dak Prescott difference was Andy Dalton played in 11 games and Dak played in 5. So why did he finish one spot better than him? Because he's terrible. I like him as a human being. I don't have a problem with him as a human being. but I don't think he's going to be a good fantasy quarterback. He has less weapons than what he had there, and he has pretty much the same competency of a coach. The highest a quarterback has ever finished under Matt Nagy since he's been the head coach has been 15 in fantasy football, 15, and that was still Mitchell Trubisky. So I don't have a lot of hope for Andy Dalton, and I don't really have a lot of hope for Justin Fields this year either, mostly because Matt Nagy's an idiot.
Okay, now I want to circle back to the no hope for Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields has similar skill sets as Mitchell Trubisky, but they're better.
Yeah.
Athletically, he's better than Mitchell. Like, Mitchell Trubisky is a great athlete. Justin Fields is a great athlete. But I think Justin Fields' arm talent is better than Mitchell Trubisky's.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
so he's a better overall player.
Yeah. In Superflex, I think you can justify going and getting him, if he's there in the third or fourth round and you want him as your second guy, sure, go ahead. Or even better, if you can get him as your third guy, great. The problem is in Superflex, he's probably going to be gone. Somebody's going to reach for him in the second round. In one QB leagues, he'll probably be gone before you want. It's just his value this year versus his ADP. I don't think it's going to be there in redraft.
Yeah, I don't really want him in redraft. I don't want him or Dalton in redraft.
I would probably rather have Teddy Two Gloves, honestly, because I think he's going to start and he's got a nice receiving core there.
Yeah, he does. Sure does, Bob. All right.
Hold on. So
No, we're done.
Okay, never mind. I was trying to think if they had good matchups. Would there be a game like maybe try to steal a game week 1 in a super flex league with Andy Dalton as like your number 2 quarterback? But their first week matchups aren't great, so never mind about that idea. All right, so we talked about that. We all three like Justin Fields. We just don't like the situation he's in right now.
Yeah, not right now, no. Especially with them carrying 3 quarterbacks. I mean, I'm sure one of those guys will get cut, either Dalton or Foles, probably Foles, but it's not great.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the running back situation there. David Montgomery was RB3 last year in PPR. Pretty good. 3 or 4, depending on probably a little bit how many bonus points and stuff like that. But David Montgomery, he's there. Tariq Cohen is coming back. Wasn't gone. Cordell Patterson is gone, but they added Damian Williams. How do we feel about David Montgomery? Do we think he's still an RB1? Or is he one of these running backs that has 1 year at RB1 but can't repeat? Which happens to about 2/3 of the RB1s every year.
He ain't going to finish 4th like he did this past year. I will guarantee that.
Put your hair on it?
No, I'm not putting my hair back on anything. I missed it too much. No, it's with the combination of having a more competent quarterback than he had, which isn't saying much, but between Andy Dalton and Justin Fields is more competent than what he had last year between Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. I think that his performance will dip along with Tariq Cohen being back and being healthy. I don't really see Damian Williams as a threat to him, but it's almost like Matt Nagy doesn't like David Montgomery because he's not a great pass catcher. And I think that's probably why they bought Damian Williams in and they still want to use Tariq Cohen because Damian Williams can kind of do it all. Tariq Cohen is more of a pass catcher than what David Montgomery is. So he's probably going to lose that third down work. Last year, it was kind of just like he was forced to take it. And that's what helped him be that number 4 running back in PPR. If anything, you should sell him, especially in Dynasty, but there's no way he's repeating that. I think he'll probably be somewhere around in the 15 range. I like him there.
All right, so right now his ADP has him 32nd player overall, RB 18.
Okay.
So that's mid third.
He's above Miles Sanders and Najee Harris. He's right before those two.
Okay.
He's right after Hilaire, Jacobs, and Dobbins. I don't mind his draft value. I don't mind taking him 3rd round. That's not bad value. I think you're not really reaching if you're getting him there.
No. He's going to be a good RB2.
And I think that's a good spot for him, especially if you go running back, wide receiver. He's a guy that can fill that roster, and I think you get enough work. He won't be world beaters, and I don't think he'll win you weeks. but he fills out a roster.
No. He was targeted 68 times last year. He's just not going to see that volume in the passing game this year again with Tariq Cohen unless he gets hurt again, which probably won't happen. And then he probably won't see 247 rushing attempts again. So, yeah,
Okay.
you'll see some regression on his stats.
And you got to
David
remember
Montgomery. Sorry, go ahead, Josh.
you got to remember that most of his fantasy production came in the last 5 weeks. He had 1 touchdown before that, and then he had 7 in the last 5 weeks. He was averaging over 20 points a week during that stretch in those last 5 games. So that's where he kind of caught up with the rest of the pack. So I'm not expecting him to be able to reproduce that.
Yeah, you've also got some other backs that are probably going to push him out. Zeke should return to form with Dak back. You've got Chubb, who was banged up a little bit last year. You could see guys like Gibson and Swift coming to their own this year that may push him down. Miles Sanders, hopefully. Dobbins.
Speaking of a couple of those guys you mentioned,
Not
Swift, and we'll talk about Swift here in a minute, so I don't want to bring that one up. Antonio Gibson, though, he's going as RB12. Would you rather skip that, take a wide receiver, another position, and get David Montgomery later in the 3rd round? Are you using a 2nd-round pick on Antonio Gibson because he's going 18 overall?
That's a little rich for my blood for him. There's reports that he is still having issues with his toe, and they're infecting him in practice. So that's worrisome that it's still bothering him. I know they said they want to use him in the passing game more and stuff like that, but
I'm with you guys. If they were closer in ADP, I think I'd go Gibson. But with that big gap, I like.
Yeah, if it were 4 or 5
Montgomery
spots instead of
at his value more than Gibson.
Yeah,
there's
double digits.
The players going after him: Calvin Ridley, AJ Brown, Kittle, Darren Waller,
Browning.
Even Clyde Edwards-Helaire's going after him, who I like better this year. And that's just personal preference. I think he's going to be a lot better in his 2nd year with this offense. So
even the guys going right ahead of him. Even the guys who are like Nuke, like if you had a chance between Nuke or Antonio Gibson,
I'm taking Nuke in a PPR.
Exactly, and you're like, I'll wait for David Montgomery in the 3rd.
Same thing. Like I'm going to take AJ Brown over Antonio Gibson. I mean,
the number 2 in an offense.
Okay. Well, he's got to talk about that quarterback. So
there is that news we haven't talked.
Did you say Antonio Brown?
AJ Brown.
No, he's at AJ.
Oh, Brown. AJ Brown. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said the number 2 in his offense, the number 2 wide receiver.
How dare you, sir?
Just the disrespect.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. That was the big news that we missed, actually. But
yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the South.
That's fine.
All right, so running backs. I think we kind of like Montgomery where his value is at in ADP, but none of us are world beaters in Dynasty going out to go buy him that much unless you can get him cheap. If a team's trying to sell him, you can get him cheap. Whatever, you can throw a 2nd at him, or maybe a next year, a couple years down the road first, and you're a contending team. He could be a good flex or a 3rd running back or even a 2nd running back on your team. Let's talk about the wide receivers here. Allen Robinson, man, he finally gets a good quarterback, but like we said, they don't want to play him. Poor guy. What do we think with Allen Robinson's upside? And I was going to bring up, man, if his quarterback was good. This is really the only quarterback situation here where there's 2 options that one makes him better, but the other one makes him still Allen Robinson.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like Allen Robinson a lot. I think he's going to be just fine. He finishes 9th last year in PPR scoring. Allen Robinson is going to be the guy. And traditionally in every Matt Nagy offense, including his time in Kansas City, he's always had a stud wide receiver. The problem is that he hasn't been able to support a number 2 wide receiver, even going back to his days as Kansas City offensive coordinator. The highest a 2nd wide receiver has ever been on his team was wide receiver 41. 41. So that's a wide receiver 4. And I don't know if you guys play in a lot of 5 wide receiver leagues. If you do, great, go grab Gerald Mooney. If not really a sleeper darling that I'm looking at picking up.
Yeah. That's fair. Robinson was targeted 151 times last year. Opportunity is king. He's going to get plenty of it. He will be a low to mid wide receiver 1 as long as he is healthy yet again this year, just like he has like the past 3 years or whatever it's been. with terrible quarterback play. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. He's going to get it done. And hey, MJ, and thank you. We are all dads. Thanks for the Father's Day wishes.
I'm a father.
We are.
This doesn't say dad tired. This doesn't say a lot for the wide receivers, but there's going to be a little bit more focus on Cole Kmet. He's coming into his second season. Everyone loves him. He's a nice little sleeper candidate. Everyone's thinking he's going to be all fired up.
I traded for him.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that's going to be wrong with him. You got to remember, Andy Dalton, he had some very relevant fantasy tight ends. Now, they were mostly relevant because they were scoring touchdowns. They weren't getting a lot of catches because he really targeted those big bodies in the red zone whenever he was the starting quarterback for Cincinnati. So we know that he's going to use them, and there's a possibility if Justin Fields gets in there, he could use him as a security blanket. Cole Kmet is talented enough, and he could be utilized. What do you guys think about him?
I like him. My only problem is I hope they cut Jimmy Graham because of Matt Nagy. I worry that Jimmy Graham will just be on the field when Cole Kmet should be on the field.
Yeah, the inside the 5-yard line. Oh, here comes Jimmy to go play. Jump high and go get it.
Go play power forward.
Yeah,
and box
exactly.
Out. I love Cole Kmet this year. I think he'll be good. I think we saw some flashes last year from him when he got the opportunities. And if we can get Justin Fields, just another capable passer out there. Yes, like you said, Andy Dalton has performed with tight ends. I think Cole Kmet could be a good guy you can get late in a draft. And he could be one of those guys that sneaks up there in those 6 to 10 tight end range.
What kind of ADP is he looking at? Do you have that in front of you?
Oh, I can't, though.
I was just looking at Allen Robinson's. And consensus number 12.
Tight end 23, 190 overall.
Oh, I'd take him there. That's easy.
Yeah, he's down there with Blake Jarwin, Adam Troutman.
Oh, well, I like Troutman.
Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, he had a rough year.
Sam
That's
Darnold.
not bad. I wonder, yeah. I mean, that's
tight end 23. He'll finish better than tight end 23.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Allen
Robinson's the Bears?
Allen Robinson's
no.
36 overall.
Marquise Goodwin,
Don't care.
the speedster. He's
Don't
super
care.
fast.
Darnell Mooney?
I do like Darnell Mooney. I think he's the number 2 there. If they can have a more capable passing game, I can see that being better.
Who did they draft? What's his name? No, I thought they did.
They drafted a running back.
Who's their third guy? I have it. Hang on.
Anthony Miller.
Evan Hester.
Anthony Miller is going to get Daz Newsome.
Yep.
Daz Newsome.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Matter.
Daz Newsome got hurt.
Oh, did he? What happened?
All right. Let's move on here. That was a long time. That's 20 minutes on the Bears. Let's talk about the Lions.
Shoulder.
For the first time in a long time, there is a new quarterback at the helm for the Detroit Lions week 1.
Mm-hmm.
King Goffrey has rolled into town to bite ankles with the new head coach. And does he have a plethora of weapons? Not good weapons, mind you, but a plethora.
But a lot of them.
Got TJ Hawkinson.
So let's talk about Jared Goff. Right now, if I could tell you, you can have Jared Goff. I don't know what his ADP is, but it's going to be way too high for my blood. Oh, no, he's QB 32. That's about
Easy.
right where I'd take it.
That's still a little rich for me.
He's going after Tim Tebow. I'm just saying. I want nothing to do with Jared Goff, even in a 2 QB league. I would rather, if I'm in Superflex, I would rather take Justin Fields and fill my Superflex spot with a position player.
Ooh.
It's not good, Bob.
There you go.
He's his best option is TJ Hawkinson, and in the receiving game, they got
Tyrell Williams.
Guys.
Nope. They got Tyrell Williams, who couldn't beat out Nelson Aguilar last year.
Quintez Cephas.
I like some Quintez Cephas, but I don't know if he'll have opportunities to catch balls.
Brashard
Jared Goff had the lowest yards per attempt last year of any starting quarterback.
Oof. Don't like that.
Yeah. Rashard Perryman, remember that one good year he had with Jameis? 30 for 30 year? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. That was yeah, I remember that.
Won me a ship.
He did.
He did.
He really
That
did.
did happen.
Won me a ship.
I don't
the
want
waiver
any,
wire won you a ship.
I don't want any
Fitz
wide
Magic.
receivers.
And,
I don't want any wide receivers from the Lions. TJ Hawkinson, though, I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to potentially be top 6.
Is the running back. The tight end, we do like tight end. I like Hawkinson just because we know he'll get targets. But the running back position, I think this is the biggest fantasy. Oh, God, what are we doing? DeAndre Swift is going really high right now. And this might be because a lot of the drafts are based off dynasty status right now. But he is going 24th overall, RB 14. I think, personally, too high.
He finished as running back 18, so it's not.
Cool. But you want to talk about the fact they added Jamal Williams? That all the reports are they're going to use a running back by committee. They like Jamal Williams in the past.
And what did you say at the top of the show? Everything is guessing and maybes and coach speak, and we don't know if that's true or not. So
he's going before Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not taking him before Helaire.
No, I think
that's fair.
I think he's going to be a solid RB2. And the reason I say, and he has the potential, and obviously he has the athletic ability to be an RB1. That's not the issue. The issue is that Anthony Lynn always uses 2 guys. Always. He's never had a running back in any offense that he's led get more than 225 touches. He has had an RB1, though, in 4, or actually an RB, the top 8 RB in 4 of his last 5 seasons. So I think that is a huge plus. And he's always had one back who averages at least 17 touches a game. And DeAndre Swift only got 13 last year per game. So I think that is a positive note, especially because they're going to try to run the ball a lot and keep the ball out of Jared Goff's hands. The only issue is that if this defense is going to be as bad as this offense, they're going to have to throw a lot just to stay in games. And that does not bode well for these running backs.
My problem with where he's at is that the other positions around him I would rather have.
What do you mean?
I know I can get like Keenan Allen. I don't need he's such a question mark at running back. We're talking was this 24th? So in the second round, beginning third. I guess it's not that bad. And you can take a shot at him if you're on the bookends. But if you're picking 24, you probably picked what? Let's see here. 1, 12. You probably picked number 1. So you started with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
pairing that up with DeAndre Swift. You're playing for a home run hit.
If you wait though, you don't get another somewhat viable running back. You're getting.
But I could go Christian
Gus
McCaffrey,
Edwards.
Patrick Mahomes, and Keenan Allen.
Or I could take
it up in 3 positions.
Or I could take Christian McCaffrey and Clyde, who's actually going after him. I got CEH, and then I go ahead and slap some Justin Jefferson in there. I got me a nice 3 first draft picks. Nice.
And that's my problem is the question mark there is so big for DeAndre Swift. I know you're a DeAndre Swift truther, Eric.
It's not even that. Why is everybody still a CEH truther? What did he show you last year that says he's going to be
I
worth
trust
it?
his offense more. I trust his offense more.
I trust his offense to throw the ball down the field more.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to throw it to him. I think he's just as big of a question mark as Swift. That's my opinion, though.
I think week to week, CEH has a better floor than DeAndre Swift does. Will there be games that DeAndre Swift probably outscores him? Yes. But he's going to face a lot of 7, 8 in the box. Yeah, I worry about that.
That's fair.
I don't know. That's for me. I'm not a big Swift guy this year.
I know. I think Josh pegged it right on or he hit the nail right on the head. I think he's a good RB2, in the middle of the RB2s to lower end RB2s, maybe where he finished last year, 18. I think that's reasonable again to see this year, especially because with the extra game, he's going to see a little bit more volume, even if he splits carries and snaps with Jamal Williams. So I think he can easily redo what he did last year.
Which
honestly,
is crazy because he's so
in this whole division, he's the worst running back. Can we all say that?
Yeah. Well, no.
I think he's more talented than Montgomery. He just won't see as much volume.
Fantasy this year.
Right. That's why I said Montgomery will get more volume.
Talent and opportunity. Opportunity is more important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because DeAndre Swift, he's incredible.
Uber talented.
He is. Yeah. We'll see, man. Maybe Penny Sewell will just moves bodies around for him, and he breaks off some big ones.
Let's move on to the Packers, and let's talk about the drama that is Jeopardy himself, Aaron Rodgers. His team's in jeopardy of losing him. I think he plays, but we'll see what happens. Still reports are coming out that he doesn't want to play. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this thing. If he I'm going to go in this with he's playing. Okay. I think it's more likely he plays this year and then doesn't play this year. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
More likely.
Once it comes down to it and he's really losing like big chunks of money. I know he's lost like $500,000 in workout bonuses and stuff already, but
he ain't got many
game checks.
That's my problem with him setting up.
That too.
So I think it's about 80% or higher that he's going to play this year. So I'm going to go with he's playing because I'm not loving the fact that it could be Bortles or Jordan Love.
Nice pun.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's play devil's advocate. If say Rodgers doesn't play and they decide to go with,
I want none of the wide receivers.
Okay. Where do you think Jordan Love or Blake Bortles could possibly finish? Are they just not even draftable? Like they're not even touchable, even like as a waiver wire pickup?
QB 20 at best.
QB 20 at best.
I don't want him in redraft. Absolutely not.
QB 20 or best. And okay. And based on everybody's value, I want none of the players.
Sure. Other than like the running backs, right?
Nope. Don't even want them.
You don't even want them, even if Love starts. Okay.
Nope. Because I don't see defenses playing honest.
Wow, that's true.
I don't trust their coach to be creative without Aaron Rodgers. Without Rodgers.
You shouldn't.
He helped Jared Goff be a QB 12.
No, he didn't.
He did.
I thought that was
Sean McVay did.
McVay.
He got credit for it. He helped.
That doesn't mean he's good, though.
He came in and that offense was
Bill Callahan got credit for John Gruden making Rich Gannon look like an MVP candidate, and now he's an offensive line coach. I'm just saying
that the Packers' offense was noticeably better with LaFleur than it was with Mike McCarthy.
Well, they did a lot of pre-snap stuff that helped them a lot, but other than that, I wouldn't say it's still Rodgers making it up as he goes.
It was Rodgers being healthy this year that made it look better than the last couple of years of Mike McCarthy. Let's be honest. If Rodgers' knee would have been fine, McCarthy's offense looks good with Rodgers. It might. It is what it is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Without Rodgers there, I don't want any of them for their values.
Okay, well, he is there, so you still want.
He's there.
Saying that he's there.
So let's go, Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Jones, man, where his ADP is probably ridiculous. He's going 12th overall, RB9. That's about perfect.
Yeah, I think that's okay. He's
been good value.
Honestly, yes, it is. I think it's good value. RB9. I like him better than Chubb. I like him better than Zeke.
Yeah, he's been an RB1 the last 2 years. 16 touchdowns in 2019. That's insane.
I think he's safer than Saquon and Jonathan Taylor. I think they have bigger upside, but I think he's a safer floor than those two.
Uh-huh.
It's a good offense. They have a good offensive line. He runs the ball really well, and Rodgers makes everybody have to play honest. So,
and he has AJ Dillon behind him, who's not much of a pass catcher. So I think his catches go up this year.
Yeah. And now Jamal Williams is gone, so that helps him even more so in the passing game.
Yeah, and you got to think that he's never been a guy who's carried the ball, 300 times a season anyway. A la, Derrick Henry. I think he carried the ball 200 times last year.
201 on the dot.
201. Yeah, so
he's efficient.
What do you guys think about AJ Dillon though? Is he just a handcuff?
Yes.
Or can he be more?
Right now, I think he's just a handcuff. He might be more later, but right now with Jones in his way, he won't see the volume that he needs to be anything.
You don't think he'll see Jonathan Williams' volume?
Jamal Williams' volume?
Yeah, sorry. He's going RB36. Like you said, Aaron Jones hasn't carried the ball but 200 sometimes. Do you think they want to keep that number about the same? Do you think he can get 150 carries?
But Jamal Williams was, like you said, he's good in the passing game, and he was okay on third down. They're not going to bring a second-year player in to protect Rodgers on third down.
They can flip some of the roles, though. He gets
you could put him in on first and second down. It could.
If I tell you he gets 150 carries.
Well, Jamal Williams got 119 last year, so it's not insane to think that that's out of the realm of possibility. And you got to remember, A.J. Dillon still got some carries last year too. So I think if you split it between the two of them, it could end up being the same numbers. But I mean, even Jamal Williams, where did he finish with all those carries? 38. So he's strictly a handcuff. Aaron Jones is what makes this thing go. They paid him. He's going to be the guy. They might try and keep him healthy with an extra game for the playoffs, but he's still going to be very fantasy relevant unless he's injured.
Yeah. A.J. Dillon's going 94th overall, RB 36.
Perfect.
He's going right behind Kenyon Drake, which I think is blasphemy. I take him over Kenyon Drake.
Okay.
But
I would definitely, if I'm an Aaron Jones owner though, I definitely grab him because he's only played 16 games once in his entire career. He does get dinged up. I would definitely make sure I have him in my back pocket to start when he's hurt.
All right, Devontae Adams, he's really good. He goes really early, but guess what? He's worth every bit of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going wide receiver 2. We can make all the things that he should be wide receiver 1, 11. The problem with him is that he's going to miss games.
18.
He's going to miss a game.
Yeah,
he's gonna miss a game or two. Every season he's gonna miss a game or two. So you need to have wide receiver on your bench so you can plug in.
Yeah,
you're gonna miss him.
Yeah, well, with those 18 touchdowns, that hurt you too much.
He will win you weeks though. He will win you weeks.
But there'll be weeks you got to be prepared for the week when he's not there.
Yep.
That's the only problem with him.
Which is why I'm saying that even if Rodgers is out, I still want him. I just don't want him at that ADP.
He's good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that if Rodgers is out, you're not going to take Devontae Adams at his ADP. You're going to wait and let him try and slip to the second or third round.
Every draft, he's still going to go in the first round.
Yeah, I understand completely. All right, but
you tell me if I give him in the third round? If I can give him in the third round with Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson was an RB1 with Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I'd take him in the third.
Yeah,
I don't think he falls that far in any scenario.
No.
But
is there any other wide receiver or tight end you guys want?
No,
me neither.
Tunyon's a good late round flyer just because of the number of touchdowns he scored last year.
The tight end Tunyon, I would take him.
Yeah, he was what, tight end 4 last year? Let's face it, between 5 and 12, it's a crapshoot. So yeah, you might as well take a flyer on him. He plays with the arguably the best quarterback in the league.
And he's going tight end 19. He's going 173 overall. He's going behind Anthony Firkser. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking him over at Firkser.
But that's all based on Aaron Rodgers and how much he likes Robert Tonyan, because Matt LaFleur has never really used his tight ends. So in the 3 seasons that he was control of an offense before that, all of his tight ends had a combined 1 touchdown. 1.
I'd be worried about that if Rodgers didn't just do what he wants on the field anyway, because he does.
Yeah, and I think Robert Tonyan is the number 2 passing option there.
Yes, he is.
So, if you prove it to Rodgers that you're sure-handed in the red zone, that's what matters to Aaron Rodgers. He's going to throw it. He's going to keep going back to you.
I like him as a late-round tight end. I think he's a safe late-round tight end. Like one of those guys that you're not spending a lot on him, so you're not upset when he's terrible.
Yeah, yep. But he could have those 3 tutter games and win you a week, though. Help you win a week.
You guys like that? You like that?
Well, I like it.
We go into the Vikings and we go into Kirk Cousins.
Well, they got a new offensive coordinator. They got a new offensive coordinator this year.
So they're going to run the ball more.
Well, no. They're assuming that because it was the old offensive coordinator's son, Clint Kubes, because Gary retired. So might as well go to the son, Clint Kubiak. And they're assuming that everything is going to be exactly the same. And as we know, that's true. So with Kirk Cousins finishing at 11th last year, I don't know. I don't foresee that happening again this year.
He finished 11th, but did he ever feel like the 11th best quarterback in the league?
Not to me.
He's that guy. He's going to finish 11, 12. He'll finish as a QB1 probably, or right around there, somewhere between 11 to 14. He'll finish there because of the counting stats, but he'll never feel like it all season.
No.
Well, there's going to be
like Florida guy.
So Deshaun Watson will fall out of the top 12 because he probably won't play this year. Mm-hmm. So that brings him up. But I'm expecting other guys like
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm expecting Matt Stafford to slide in there. I'm expecting
Dak
Prescott to slide back in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think there's a chance
Joe Burrow has a shot.
Yeah, I think
Burrow was on pace to easily be a QB1 last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll finish somewhere between like 11 to 14 just because of accounting stats, because he'll play 16 games. And his dud game will be a bad dud game, but he won't have a whole lot of them. He'll have a lot of those in 6 points per touchdown. He'll have a lot of like 18 to 24 point games.
Yes.
I would put a pie on him not finishing in the top 12.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not putting anything on that because
I know you're saying, but you're saying
yeah.
11 to 14. I'm saying there's no way he finishes in the top 12.
Like Kevin Garnett said,
anything is possible.
Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Well, we know that
Kellen Mond.
running back.
I just want to bring up Kellen Mond real quick. Does he start a game this season? No injuries. Does he start a game?
I don't think so. Not this year.
If by some miracle they have the division wrapped up, sure. But I don't like if Rodgers doesn't play and the Packers fall apart, it's kind of their division to take, right? So if they have a 2 or 3 game lead and it's week 16, throw the kid in, rest the starters, see what you got.
But you don't think there's any other way he's going to play?
No. Okay. I think these guys understand this team has to kind of win now. So there's no scenario that happens then.
Dalvin Cook, he really good, right?
He's great. Hopefully he plays 14 games again because that's what he did last year.
He's going number 2 overall right now.
That's about right.
Is that too high?
Ahead of who?
Alvin,
if he's going ahead of Derrick Henry, I disagree with that.
He's going ahead of everybody but Christian. He's number 2, so he's going ahead of everybody but Christian McCaffrey.
Then no, that's too high for Dalvin Cook. For me.
Okay.
He's never played 16 games. I would take Kamara over him. I would take Henry over him. I would definitely take those guys over him.
Yeah,
he's probably
Jonathan
3 or 4
Taylor
for
or
me.
Dalvin Cook in this year only.
Jonathan Taylor.
You crazy.
You say whatever you want. 4, 11, 14, and 14. Jonathan Taylor's young, and he has a monster offensive line.
He does. But
He's on that first contract.
I know what the Vikings are doing, and it is running.
What do you think the Colts are going to do with Carson Wentz? They're going to hand the ball off.
Turn the ball over.
When he does throw it, yes. But they'll minimize that by running the ball.
Yeah. All right. Then Mattson, just a handcuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on, wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, world beater last year, right?
Ooh,
He's amazing.
what a monster.
Oh, my God, is he so good. Talk about it. Is there any chance of a sophomore slump?
Sure. You have to live and die with Kirk Cousins.
He's going as wide receiver 8, 27 overall. Do you like him over Keenan Allen? Do you like him over Allen Robinson?
What did he have? 7 touchdowns last year, 1,400 yards. No,
These
I like
guys
Allen Robinson. I like Allen Robinson more. Keenan Allen's going to get targeted more too because he is the number 1 in that offense. He had 147 targets last year.
Are you taking him over Josh Jacobs?
Oh, yes. Yeah. With Kenyon Drake there now? Don't like that.
Okay.
What about you, Josh? What do you think?
I like him at that. That ADP is pretty high.
Wide receiver 8 is, and I feel like there will be a little bit of a drop off this year.
That ADP is pretty high. I'd rather have Keenan Allen just because I know what Keenan Allen is and what he will be. And if Jameis is the starter, I like Michael Thomas, man. I like Michael Thomas, who's got a lower ADP than him.
Everybody's sleeping on him again. I don't
Michael
understand
Thomas?
that. He's such a monster.
I'm not denying
Justin
Jefferson. Yeah, I'm not denying his talent. I just think Justin Jefferson's great, but I think there's some other players who I could grab there, possibly another running back right after him, and then maybe swoop another good wide receiver and then round afterwards. So I'm okay, but I mean, if you get him, it's not like I'm going to cry about it. I love him. I just don't know if he's going to repeat the 1,400 yards.
All right, is this the first tight end we want nothing to do with? Irv Smith.
They have already said that his role will not grow this season, and that obviously, like you said, it's early OTAs, but that's still very worrisome.
Sorry, I forgot to bring up Adam Thielen.
Yeah, because nobody wants Adam Thielen.
Well, he was
red zone targets, though. Red zone targets.
Yeah, he had 14 touchdowns last year, which And we keep saying it like, oh, Adam Thielen's going to fall off again. Adam Thielen's going to, I'm done saying that stuff. Until it actually happens, I'm not saying it. So, yes, Adam Thielen is a perfectly viable low-end wide receiver.
He's going like 50 overall.
2.
He's going 50 overall. His ADP matches what I think he's going to do.
I think he's a bargain there. But
yeah. Before, when we used to take him in the second round, thought that was way too high.
Agree. Now, getting him in the fourth,
fifth round. Yeah. If I go running back, and I put him in there, I'm not too shit. I don't hate it.
It's not terrible.
No, he finished 10th last year. I love it.
But before we move on to the AFC, best quarterback in the division is Aaron Rodgers, correct?
Hands down.
All right. Best running back in the division is Dalvin Cook. We saying finishing the year? Best one? Aaron Jones? Dalvin Cook?
Ooh.
Yeah, probably Cook, but it's not. It's close.
Okay. Best wide receiver finishing the division is Devontae Adams, who's number 2. Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, or Adam Thielen?
Hey, Rob. For me.
I'm going to
very close with Jefferson, though.
It's close. I'll go Allen Robinson.
Robinson, safer floor. Jefferson, higher ceiling.
Yeah, I can't bet against A-Rob, though.
Safer floor. We're going to the safe pick here, right?
He's done it for years. With
best tight end in the division, TJ Hawkinson?
Yes.
Pick a sleeper out of the division.
Yes.
Everybody's sleeping on. We're going to take him. Take a sleeper.
A sleeper?
Pick one guy.
I like Tariq Cohen and the fact that in certain situations he can win you a week.
Yep.
Tariq Cohen for me.
Tariq Cohen? Okay.
I think Eric froze.
No, he's
good to know that fiber's working. No, it froze.
Did it freeze? Oh, okay, cool. He must have thunderstorm going on. My sleeper though is, if you want to talk about it, it's Robert Tonyan. I know it's not too much of a sleeper, but that late a tight end. Talk about tight end 17.
All right. Now we'll move on to the AFC North.
All right, did he message you by any chance?
No. We got to move a little fast if we want to do it this week, though.
Oh, we're good. We can go. Oh, he's jumping back in. There he is. He's back in. Cool. Back in. I don't know what happened. You sleeper for the NFC?
Mooney if
Darnell Mooney. I like it. It's a good one.
If Fields starts.
Moving on to the AFC, boys. Let's start in Pittsburgh. Let's start in the Steel Curtain. Is Big Ben the worst quarterback in this division?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say that, yes.
Is he the worst quarterback in this division?
So
fantasy-wise.
It's funny you bring that up because I guess they asked him about, like, hey, he looks like you struggled a little bit last year. Was everything okay? Because in the preseason last year, he's like, my elbow hasn't felt this good in 10 years, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, I just had reconstructive surgery on my elbow. Like, what did you want from me? So I don't think he's going to hold up.
All right. He did play in 15 games last year. He threw the ball 600 times last year on a reconstructed elbow. So, all right. Almost 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. It's Big Ben. No rushing numbers really to count on.
Not anymore.
Whatever. And I was going to bring up, if he goes down, then this whole offense goes down. But isn't that pretty much true for every team out there? We saw it in the Cowboys offense. It happens to every offense out there. When the quarterback goes down, the rest of the offense kind of follows.
Yes.
There's very few situations. All right, let's talk about Najee Harris, though. The running back, first running back off the board in the draft. They take him. They didn't really improve that offensive line, so I get really nervous. What James Conner did last year in 13 games was he had 169 attempts, 700 yards, and 6 touchdowns. I think Najee Harris probably plays more than 13 games.
Fingers crossed.
And they lost Villanueva, who was their best offensive lineman. I think it was kind of head scratching for me for them to go ahead and draft Najee Harris when they had some other clear needs. Offensive line. I mean, you see what the difference is when Zeke has a great offensive line in front of him, and then when those guys get banged up, it matters. It does matter. I don't know. I like Najee Harris. I'm not buying into all the hype that everyone else is, because that offensive line is not good. it's gotten worse every single year, and they lost Villanueva. They didn't draft another offensive lineman until the third round. They drafted one back-to-back, third and fourth, between Kendrick Green and Dan Moore. But those guys, they're probably going to ask them to come in and play right away, but it's still not good to me. I'm not encouraged.
Here's the running backs going around Najee Harris: David Montgomery, Miles Sanders, Chris Carson, and then James Robinson.
Ugh.
Yeah, he sits right in the middle of the pack there for me.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
You know what I'm saying? I think this year I like Chris Carson and David Montgomery better than him.
Yeah.
But Miles Sanders, I like Miles Sanders' upside, but I hate the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that backfield is super crowded.
And let's talk about who's there with Najee Harris. Let's talk about the plethora of running backs. They got to cut a few here. They got Kalen Ballage, Anthony McFarland, Benny Snell.
The Bellagio?
Two of those guys they drafted. Kalen Ballage they signed in the offseason.
Yeah. So you figure who gets cut?
Ballage. Yeah, he don't play special teams.
So, but where do you think realistically Najee Harris could finish? Where did Connor finish last year?
He won't play. He was bad. Not bad as bad. 20. He was right behind Kenyon Drake, I think.
James
Austin Eckler. He was 27th. That's what I'm showing anyway. So he
27th.
Realistically, you could see like Najee Harris. He could be Rojo, right? With that team,
if he plays all 16 games with the sheer volume he'll get, I think he'll still finish RB 16.
That high?
17, 18.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with sheer volume. Benny Snell, McFarland, and Ballage aren't taking a lot of heavy work from him.
No, I just worry that they're going to throw 600 times again, and you're going to see a lot of Najee Harris ran the ball for 25. He had 25 carries, but he had 82 yards and no scores because Ben likes to throw it in the red zone because he likes to pad his own stats. So I think he could be running back 20. I think he could be like Rojo, but I don't know if he's going to be any better than that, especially like Josh alluded to. That offensive line, especially the right side, got a lot worse this offseason. It was not good.
James Conner had some good games last year, though. It's like
he did.
Once he started getting hurt, his numbers went down. He averaged about 13 carries a game, which isn't great. But if you can tell me you can give him 16 to 20 carries for Najee Harris, I like that.
Yeah. He's good in the passing game, too, and he's a lot harder to bring down than James Conner. So he could get like some wheel routes or like fun stuff like that he could really do some damage with.
They draft him as a 3-down back. We don't have a lot of those. If you tell me he's playing all 3 downs,
it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if he is going to play all 3 downs and he's going to be much better than those guys, does it hurt the wide receivers? I think his presence alone and then Ben not having to throw 600 times, it's going to hurt the wide receivers, right? It has to.
I think Ben hurts the wide receivers from the jump with his accuracy because he threw it 600 times and he completed like 65% of the passes. But if you look at like Deontay Johnson's target numbers, he didn't catch over 100 passes, but he was targeted well over that. So it's just the accuracy is just not there.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, Pittsburgh also had a bad case of the dropsies there towards the end of the season.
Is that magically going to get better? Probably not.
Who is the best wide receiver on that team, fantasy-wise?
I
like Johnson. I think Johnson is the best guy.
Well, last year it was Juju statistically.
Yeah.
But
the eye test doesn't say that was Juju.
Yeah, but I mean, they had 3 guys inside the top 24. It was 16 for Juju. It was 22 for Claypool and 21 for Johnson. I mean, they did all right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, Claypool was the one who got those touchdowns in a couple of games, and then he kind of wasn't really relevant after that. I think Juju's still going to be the guy. I really do. Because Big Ben's got to get the ball out
overall. Juju's going 74 overall, wide receiver 31. I mean, I think that's kind of a deal because if he doesn't pan out, doesn't really kill me.
No, not going to.
Claypool's going ahead of him.
And honestly, in Dynasty, still with his age and everything like that, I think he's a good buy.
Juju?
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably be with another team next year. So, it's not bad. Buy low on him because he had a bad year. I like that.
And then I like Deontay Johnson, but like I said, he had drops problems, and he's like the 3rd option on this team, and it's just so. But Big Ben will throw the ball. Any love for Eric Ebron?
Absolutely.
Nobody wants, right? Okay, cool.
No, they're so disappointing. Their tight ends are so disappointing. I love Freiermuth too. I think he's a really good tight end because he can block and put his hand in the dirt and block and run routes out of that form, like that position. But just like Ben just doesn't do. anything with those guys ever. So no.
If he's checking down, he's checking down to a running back, or he's checking down to Juju, who's running a short route.
I was really disappointed he went to Pittsburgh. I thought that was a waste.
Yeah. There's just no upside there at the tight end position.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sad.
All right, let's talk about the AFC. Let's talk about the Ravens here in Baltimore.
Woo!
Let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about the fact that their passing game coordinator was one of the worst, and he went to coach the Texans. So I see passing numbers going up for Lamar.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't go much down. He completed 242 passes last year for 2,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He ran the ball 159 times for 1,005 yards and 7 more touchdowns on that. He played in 15 games. Remember, this year is a 17-game schedule.
Yep.
So, his floor is great with Lamar Jackson. Even on a bad year, he still finished the QB1.
I think we saw pretty close to his floor last year too.
Yep.
And which is sad to say, because after the boo-boo game, when he took a dump, he was on fire the rest of the season. He was just good.
He is going QB4 right now.
That's too high.
Too high for you? He's going right before Dak.
Who are you taking ahead of him?
I would take Dak ahead of him.
Okay. Who else are you taking ahead of him? Mahomes, right? Murray, Allen, Dak.
Justin Herbert taking ahead of him?
Let me look at these QBs right now who are going. So it's Mahomes is going ahead of him, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray. So I would take Dak ahead of him. I would take Aaron Rodgers ahead of him. Absolutely. I would take Russell Wilson ahead. No, not Russell. I hate Russell Wilson.
If we were drafting right now, if I said our redraft is right now, are you still taking Aaron Rodgers ahead of him?
No.
Not today, no.
That's what I'm saying. The news.
Yeah, right now.
Draft it right now.
Right now, I take him. I take Mahomes, Allen, and Dak ahead of him. That's it. And then I take Lamar.
The thing is that where he's going, so if he's the 4th QB overall, he's getting drafted in the 4th round. I'm not going to draft a QB that early anyway in redraft, especially not in a 1 QB league. But in a 2 QB league or a super flex league, yeah, he's not a bad guy to have on his team because, like you said, the floor is so high, and I'm okay with that. In a 2 QB league, I would want someone like that because I know what the floor is. But if it comes down to him or Dak, I'm taking Dak. But I would take him over Kyler because I think his body is a little bit more resilient than Kyler's is. I don't believe Kyler's going to hold up much longer. I don't believe Lamar's going to hold up much longer, but I think he's got a better shot than Kyler does. We've seen it time and time again with these guys.
Lamar Jackson is the new Steve Young. He's the right hand of Steve Young.
Well, Steve Young flamed out too. So I don't know if you remember that, but he did. Concussions.
He had a lot of concussions, but yeah. Lamar is much better about avoiding contact than Steve Young or even Kyler. Kyler Murray slides a lot instead of just getting out of bounds. Lamar is super smart about getting out of bounds.
Yes, they're good about it. I understand what you're saying. A quarterback who runs the ball 160 times, which is more than some of the running backs in the top, 20, 30. Yeah. I
love Lamar. Yes. I think he's great. I think he's good for dynasty and redraft. Sign me up.
Let's talk about this running back situation, though, okay? Let's talk about the running back situation. J.K. Dobbins averaged 6 yards a carry last year, which was the highest among all the rookie running backs last year. Was really good. Mark Ingram, he gone. They said, you 30-some years old, get out of here. You're old and slow. Get. Gus Edwards got a 2-year, $10 million deal.
That's the problem.
Gus.
Who is – I still think they run the ball enough to keep 2 running backs valid.
Yes, agreed.
They both had about 140 carries last year. Dobbins did a little bit more with his and does more in the passing game as well. I think that's also we're going to see open up with Mark Ingram gone is Dobbins being used in the passing game because Gus Edwards is very seldomly used in the passing game, if at all. I like Dobbins a lot this year. As much as you're on to Swift, Eric, I'm on Dobbins. I
drafted Dobbins in the Dynasty startup. I love Dobbins. He's great.
Yeah. I think he's going to be good, but I'd still rather have David Montgomery over him in redraft. Yeah,
Ooh,
I would.
No.
Because Gus, they wanted Gus back. And Lamar's going to take some away from him too. I think
doesn't Gus play special teams too? Am I crazy for thinking that?
Yeah, but he's that straight ahead runner they can put in there in those RPOs that'll just run straight ahead and get 4 or 5 yards. The thing I like about Dobbins is I like the ceiling. I think his ceiling is much higher than Montgomery. And I know when we compared him to Swift, I was using the opposite thing. But I think he has a better outlook to have a higher ceiling than DeAndre Swift does. DeAndre Swift needs some stuff to fall his way to get up there.
Yeah. I think every team realizes, like, look, we can't do it with just one guy, especially with another game. We can't do it. So we have to have somebody back there that is worth a damn and knows the system. So I think Gus Edwards is that guy for them. But Dobbins will be the featured guy. He only got 134 carries last year. I bet you at least see 225 probably this year. I think you could see his carries go up by almost 100.
Oh, yeah. It's hard when you're talking about the quarterback with 160. He's with 140 and 140. When you start adding up the carries, it's going to get high. But I'll see. He'll be close to 200. I don't know if he'll break 200, but he'll be close to 200.
I think he will.
I think wide receiver will land there, though. Sammy Watkins is there. We got Hollywood Brown there. We got Bateman there. We got Duvernay. We got Boykin. What, if anything, do we want here?
Josh, you're high on Duvernay. What's up, man? He going to show out this year?
Well, their number one wide receiver last year finished 36th overall. So there's that. That was Marquise Brown. If you want to take a stab, I mean, obviously to me, the person who's got the highest upside is Rashad Bateman, but he's a rookie. I think he's got the highest upside. If you want to take a stab at one of those guys, it would be him, and then it would be Duvernay for me. I don't think Marquise Brown is their guy. I know they took him in the first round. They have that draft capital in him, but he just hasn't really fleshed out so far.
You're strictly talking wide receivers, right?
But I don't want any of them.
Who was the last 6-foot wide receiver to come from Maryland who had really good hands and used it to get separation? Man, it's a guy by the name of Stephon Diggs.
I thought you were talking about DJ Moore. DJ Moore is pretty good too. Yeah,
but he isn't. He's a little bigger than 6 foot.
Tomato. Well, I'm not going to say that this guy's. He's not. Okay.
I mean, Bateman could be good. Again, he's a lotto ticket. He's a rookie, so we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, for his AP, I'll take a flyer on him and put him down my bench and see what happens if anything happens there.
Great for dynasty.
Mark Andrews.
I think he's the best target on that team.
So we all said he had a terrible year last year. If you look at the numbers, it wasn't that bad. He had 8 less receptions, 100 less yards. He didn't have any of those big plays. He had a couple drops in the end zone, which could have changed. If he catches a couple of those touchdown passes, we're talking a whole different, like, oh my God, accounting stats.
He's probably tight end 4 if he caught those touchdown passes.
Between him and the tight end 3, there was 6 points difference.
Yeah.
Yes. He was 6th, and if he would have had one of those touchdowns, he would have been the tight end 3. So you're splitting hairs here.
Exactly. And he had a bad year. And his ADP fell. Like, he is sitting down in the 5th round. So you can get him
perfect
a little bit later.
Yeah.
Tight end 4. You're not reaching up and grabbing him. Mark Andrews for this year only. Or Kyle Pitts.
Andrews. No rookie has ever finished in like the top 12 as a tight end.
I will die on that sword.
Well,
no, Gronk did.
Evan Ingram did.
As
a rookie?
Jeremy Shockey, right?
Yep.
Okay, 3 guys in the history of the league.
I know Shockey and Ingram for sure.
But. Yeah, and you don't think Kyle Pitts is more talented than Jeremy Shockey?
It doesn't matter if he's that more talented. It matters about what kind of opportunity he gets.
Kyle Pitts is less. He's less of a Gronk and more of an Aaron Hernandez.
What's that?
He's got more in common with Aaron Hernandez.
Well, they did go to the same college.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. All right, moving on to the other team. We got the Bengals, boys. We got Joe Burrow. We got 10 games of Joe Burrow. We got a reconstructed knee for Joe Burrow. We got a nasty scar on there. I'm just saying.
Huge scar.
Dude, you got a signing bonus. Use it to get that thing cleaned up. He threw the ball 404 times last year for 2,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He showed flashes last year. He had no offensive line help. Joe Mixon didn't really help him anywhere.
That was in 10 games, folks. He threw the ball 44 times a game.
Yeah. He was on track to be the QB 13.
Yep.
So, and that was in his rookie season. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow, I think we all like him. I think the problem we have with him is that they have not really addressed the offensive line issues. They did go get him a weapon, which we'll talk about in a second. He's going QB 12, which I think is right about good. He's going right there with Kyle Pitts. He's going – I mean, if I'm waiting on a quarterback, let's say I'm not waiting super long, but I don't want to get on that first little quarterback run, I might take him and pair him up with some guy like a Kirk Cousins that I know will be there and I'm not happy about it.
Ryan Tannehill. He's probably gone, but that'd be beautiful. That'd be a nice combo.
Tannehill was probably going like QB1 now.
That's right. Yeah, he's
going QB10. He's going QB10. Jalen Hurts
not bad.
Or Joe Burrow? I bring this up because
Burrow.
Jalen Hurts is going about a full 10 picks before him.
For this year, I have to say I like Hurts better. For this year. Just this year.
Wrong.
Just this year.
All right, Joe Burrow.
Joey's going to be in his head with that knee.
Let's talk about the running back situation here. Joe Mixon played 6 games last year. A lot of it was that team was out of
it.
Did he? He ran the ball for 119 times for 428 yards. That's an average of 3.6 yards per carry.
I was going to say, because he might have played those 6 games, but I don't remember.
Those 3 carries will get you a first down. The math adds up, boys.
Gross.
He had 3 touchdowns. Not good.
Yeah, it was good enough for the 49th running back overall in PPR. 49th.
Pretty low.
That's what you wanted when you drafted him.
So, Gio Bernard's gone. They did sign him to a big contract last year. I think a lot of it was they didn't want to use him because they knew what their season was. It was done. Right?
Well,
they didn't bring it back.
He's done.
Running back 13 in PPR.
I think he's one of those guys that we've been waiting, and it's never going to come to fruition.
Are you saying you should stick a fork in him?
I think he's done.
He's going 18 overall, which I don't like in PPR.
Nope.
I don't mind some of the running backs he's going ahead of, but it's when you start looking at the wide receivers and the other positions, you get there instead of him. That's my problem. Yeah. And I've been hurt.
You have been snake bitten by Joe Mixon.
Yeah, would you rather have Joe Mixon or AJ Brown? I'd rather have AJ Brown. Okay. You think, Brad, maybe you could do something about that? Okay, thanks.
I would rather have AJ Brown, but if he slides for whatever reason in your draft to say, let's see, he's going 20, so that's middle of the second round. If he slides to the third and you don't take him, I think you're just being ridiculous.
I don't. I do. I mean, he's never lived up to all this hype. The guy's going after A.J. Brown, George Kittle, Darren Waller, DeAndre Swift. I think that, him and DeAndre Swift got a good shot of finishing around the same, but I like Clyde better than him. I'm not going to take Patrick Mahomes. I'd rather have Justin Jefferson on my team. These are guys going after him, and I like them better. I just don't think the offensive line didn't get better.
You're right, it didn't.
What is Joe Mixon going to do that's going to help?
I don't know why people are saying he's never lived up to it, though. He had 1,100 yards in 2018 and 2019. 8 touchdowns and 5 touchdowns, and then he had 43 receptions and 35 receptions, and then 1 and 3 touchdowns receiving those years. And he played 14 and 16 games. He's done it. Like, he can be that guy. He might not be the running back 1, but if you get him as your running back 2, it's not terrible.
All right, but he's what Josh's saying. I don't think he's ever finished as an RB1.
He's finished as an RB1 once.
And it's been a while.
Okay.
And he's
Some guys
not
never
old,
do that.
But yes, but the thing is, can he finish as again? Because he's getting drafted as an RB1.
No.
He's not, though.
J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, rank them.
Sorry, go through them again.
It's Swift, Dobbins, Mixon.
Dobbins, Swift, Mixon. Dobbins, Mixon, Swift.
Is Mixon the worst running back we've talked about today?
I don't think he's the worst running back. I just think that he's
fantasy-wise for next year. Najee Harris Harris will probably finish lower than him, but the rest. David Montgomery got a good shot to finish above him.
He does.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift. We like
yeah, because I'm expecting DeAndre Swift to be somewhere around where Melvin Gordon was the last couple of years with Anthony Lynn. So
like 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about let's move on to the wide receivers because they have 3 great wide receivers. I can say great. I mean, I don't know if they'll finish fantasy wise as great, but I think talent wise they're all up there. I mean, I think if they're
very talented group.
If their quarterback has time to throw the ball, I think there's a chance that all 3 of them could finish. They could be like Carolina last year, who has 3 wide receivers in the top 24. So we got Jamar Chase, Boyd, and T. Higgins. Rank them. Finish this year.
I think Tyler Boyd is the one who's hurt the most because T. Higgins, I think, is more talented than Tyler Boyd. Jamar Chase, it might be – I'll go Higgins, Chase, Boyd.
You said Higgins, Chase, Boyd. Interesting. Where did Boyd finish last year? Thought he did quite well. He's finished right behind T. Higgins. So
yeah, I
would say Higgins, Boyd, Chase. I think Higgins is going to get the big play more often than Boyd. But their numbers are almost identical. So I think that's almost a coin flip. And then I think Chase will lag behind because he's the rookie. So
he's so good though. Like he is stupid good.
We'll see if he can hold up against NFL.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean,
you worried all about Jamar Chase setting out a year?
No.
Okay.
So I haven't heard anything like.
I mean, if you ask LeBron, he'll be fine.
So right now the rankings are wide receivers are T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, then Boyd in that order.
Boyd's really good though. I don't understand.
Honestly, I think Boyd just gets forgotten about because his name's Tyler Boyd. It's not a sexy name.
I mean, I think the other guys.
Boyd finishes number 1. I think Boyd finishes number 1.
He very well could. I wouldn't be shocked at all by that.
Boyd
is 18th in 2019. He finished 18th overall or something like that.
Boyd, in my mind, is a later round Robert Woods. He's a guy who's going to get slept on that can finish really well.
That's a good comparison.
I like Bobby Trees.
No, I like Robbie Woods. But I'm saying is like Robert Woods is in that toppers section, right? He's in that like
Bobby
24.
Trees.
He's in that 20 to 24 range of wide receivers. Where I'm talking about 30s now.
Yeah.
I think he could be the best one out of that group by far.
You guys want some Drew Sample in your life or no? We're good. Okay. All right.
No CJ Uzama. All right. Browns, most talented fantasy team we're going to talk about probably today.
Yeah,
certainly on paper. Yeah.
It's right here. All right. Baker Mayfield. They got Case Keenum backing him up. Baker Mayfield really, I don't know if I can say good, but just there all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to kill you. He's been shown to light it up, but
so I will say this. Do you guys remember whenever Baker Mayfield had that one game where it was snowing and torrential downpour, no one could grip the ball, and he threw it for like 8 yards or something stupid. Like it was a terrible game. And then they had 3 of those games in a row where the weather was terrible. After that, and I think it was like week 11 or 12, from that moment on, including a game where he had no starting wide receivers due to COVID, he was a top 10 quarterback.
Top 10. Now, this is the problem with the way Baker Mayfield gets treated. He's going to QB 17. 16 is Kirk Cousins, who I don't think is a guy you want to start. Deshaun Watson is going 15 because people still are that late and like, well, there's a chance he'll play, so I'll take him.
That's kind of crazy.
He ain't going to play.
14 is Matt Ryan, then Tannehill. With the move of Julio Jones, I think he should be jumping Matt Ryan now.
Why is Tannehill going that late? That's whatever.
Because he's finished as the top 8 quarterback with Corey Davis instead of Julio Jones. So he should.
Well, let's not talk about that. We'll save it. We'll save it for the South. Save it for the South. Staying on Baker. Baker
just upsetting.
QB 17. I will take that all day.
Sure.
If I'm waiting on quarterback all day, and you tell me, I can get Baker Mayfield. Problem is, I know he's playing the Ravens. He's going to play the Pittsburgh defense twice. His division is going to beat him up a little bit.
Yeah,
Cincinnati defense don't care about that.
Isn't quite as good.
Okay.
I think he's going to.
They lost Bud Dupree and a couple other guys, did they not?
Yes.
Yeah, they did, but
they're good. They're still good. Yeah.
Let's talk about the running back situation. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Really good, but I think the problem is Nick Chubb going 8 overall. Running back 8 scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm okay with that.
Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb? Aaron Jones, right?
Ooh.
I'm going Aaron Jones.
Oh, man, I love Nick Chubb, though.
Yeah, I'm going Aaron Jones.
Devontae Adams or Nick Chubb?
Actually, no. If it was today, with with Rodgers not showing up anywhere, I take Nick Chubb.
Okay.
They were both RB1s.
They were. And Nick Chubb only played, 10 games last year?
Yes, he did. He was world beater when he came back. Yeah, he is.
They're really good.
Kareem Hunt is one of those guys you can take late round, and I think his ADP will be a little high, and you're kind of praying that Nick Chubb gets hurt, really.
Yeah. He's still going to be a viable RB2 either way.
Yeah.
Really solid offensive line there, and they want to protect.
Turning the back, boys. He's coming back. That knee's good. OBJ's back. All systems go.
There you go.
No.
Best wide receiver in the division, hands down.
Nope, that's not true.
Come at me, bro.
That's not true.
Facts.
Hang on.
Who?
No, it's not even remotely true.
Sammy Watkins?
No. Oh, yeah, Baltimore's got nobody.
Pittsburgh?
I think
one of those guys in Pittsburgh?
I think those guys in Cincinnati are pretty damn good.
I think
they're better than Odell, though.
Yeah, Odell Beckham hasn't done anything fantasy.
OBJ is more talented,
years.
but yeah, if for actual fantasy production, I'd probably rather have Boyd or Higgins.
No, give me Odell.
OBJ hasn't done anything in years.
That's a very high risk, high reward play.
I think it's
Odell Beckham is going 66 overall, wide receiver 26. He is going 1 pick before T. Higgins.
Too high.
He's my third wide receiver. I love his upside. I love it.
There we go. Now that I tell you his value, because before, yes, when he was a round 1 or 2 pick, yes, it was too high.
I think I drafted him round 6 in my startup. So something like that.
Like round 6.
Yeah. No, it's great value. Yeah.
Now we're talking about the Odell Beckham that, okay, he can give me if he can give me flashes of what he did in New York that rookie season, I'm good with it.
So Juju's going after him. If I have to pick between him and Juju, I'm taking Juju.
You're
100%.
I don't like that.
100%.
I think you're just stirring the pot now.
Sir. No, he hasn't done anything. The last time he did something, he was playing for a different team. He hasn't done anything in Cleveland. He's been banged up for the past 5 years. He had that 1 year in Cleveland where he had over 1,000.
I was going to do a pie bet on this, but this isn't a pie bet. We got to go bigger than a pie bet on this. All right.
He's not good. I'm sorry. He's just not good. He's just not good.
Throw down the gauntlet, Brad. Let's hear it.
I got to figure out how I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I got to think about this. All right. I'm doing this. This is going to lose for me. All right.
Just so he buys in.
I got to think how to do this.
I'm not betting against him. So.
We'll have to think about this. But if you're saying Juju finishes over Odell, we're going to do something with that bet. We got to think about it because this one has to be bigger.
He will. He will finish over Odell.
Okay, we're doing this. We just got to find the terms of the deal.
Okay. Man, he was so good in those New York seasons.
Those
played first 3 unbelievable numbers.
He started 16 games once his entire career.
That's not true. Twice.
No, he started. He still played in 16 in 2019. But he's only started once.
Tomato.
Nope.
Yes.
He was a decoy in that game in 2019.
Tomato.
Okay, either way. Odell Beckham, he's amazing. He's back. Baker ain't going to get him killed. Baker's going to feel bad for getting his knee blown out. Because remember, he tried saving an interception. That's how he blew his knee out. Giving it up for the team.
Yeah, well, he'll blow his knee out again.
Jarvis Landry is Jarvis Landry, and he is what he is.
Last year was like the first year he fell out of the top 15 in PPR. Draft Jarvis Landry as your wide receiver 2 or 3.
He's going wide receiver 39.
Perfect.
He's going back in the backs with A.J. Dillons and Naheem Hines and Zach Moss.
Get top 15 value at that position. Okay. Go for it.
Cool. All right. We got good old Hooper and Harrison Bryant tight end. Want anything to do with that?
Nope.
No.
Sure don't.
Best quarterback in the division is Lamar Jackson, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Best running back in the division is?
Chubb.
Yeah, it's Chubb.
Chubb.
Okay. What did I do? I threw the other paper.
Jones a close second.
Best wide receiver in the division?
Unless Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, and then
Best
that
wide
case,
receiver is
Jones
Odell
is-
Beckham. You guys can talk to me all you want. I already said it.
Devontae Adams is in this division. What are you talking
No,
about?
not
he's
Devontae
not.
Adams.
We're in the AFC.
Oh, we're in the
North.
AFC.
It's Odell Beckham.
Well, Juju's going to finish higher than him, so I guess it's Juju.
No. I like Higgins and Boyd. I think Higgins and Boyd are the best guys in that
Pick
division
one.
right now.
One. Best.
Juju.
Higgins.
Juju.
Ranked two best.
Juju.
There we go.
Juju.
Best tight end in this division is Mark Andrews, correct?
Hands down.
Give me your sleeper in this division.
For me, I guess it would be Rashad Bateman. We'll see what
Ooh.
happens with Rashad Bateman.
Deontay Johnson. I like his target numbers.
Okay. Mine is Harrison Bryant, the backup tight end for the Browns. If he can be a starter, he's a pass catching tight end. The same.
Interesting.
Well, they still have your boy, David
Osniber?
Njoku.
Oh, I don't care about him. He's dead to me.
They haven't moved him yet? Goodness gracious. Do something.
It's coming. They'll move him like the Celtics moved Kemba Walker.
The
right
Colts
after
will
the
take
season.
him.
Bingo.
The
Cool.
Colts love tight ends.
That was the North. Any parting shots we want to say other than Odell Beckham's amazing and we love everything he does? And follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram. Watch him dance, watch him get out of a hot tub, watch him eat pizza on a bed, watch him do whatever he does in his life. I mean, watch him dye his hair, watch him catch balls with one leg because he's got a surgically repaired knee. You can watch all of it. It's Odell. It's OBJ.
Nick Chubb is a monster. You cannot draft him high enough in one QB leagues, in my opinion.
All right. I got nothing to say other than Odell Beckham is not going to be fantasy relevant. Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. You can find me at FF Josh Hughes. You can find Brad at Tack Jones, and you can find Eric at Gunsofville19 on the Twitter sphere. You can find the show at Empty Wagon FF on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can check us out at our website at fsa-fr.com. We love you guys, and we will see you next week for the East.
Happy Father's Day.
East? We're doing the East next? All right, cool.
That's how a compass works. All right. Bye.